All right, my dear JEE aspirants, hope you're preparing well for 2026 January exams, JEE Main. In this session, I'll be doing JEE Main 2025 inverse trigonometric functions. I'll be covering both January and April shift. Altogether, 14 questions were asked from this topic. It's a second PU topic, inverse trigonometric functions, correct? So, altogether, 14 questions were asked, combining both January and April shift. We'll discuss the questions one by one. And I given the different topics, number of questions asked from this chapter. Domain of the function, that is, they'll ask to find domain of inverse trigonometric function, most of the time with log function. Okay, log function, log x is defined only if x is greater than 0. They'll ask you to find a domain of sum of two functions sometimes. Sine inverse of some function, sine inverse of a bracket plus log of another bracket. Okay, so that you have to find out. Then find intersection. If they ask domain of f plus g, it is domain of f plus domain of g. Correct? Domain of f intersection domain of g. Domain of sum of the two functions is domain of f intersection domain of g. Like that you have to find out. So such kind of questions are asked. Domain of the function. Maximum and minimum values of ITF, inverse trigonometry function. One question is asked. Writing the inverse trigonometry function in the simplest form. 3 questions are asked. That is, we use sine inverse of sine theta equal to theta if theta belongs to the principal branch. Such kind of questions. Properties of ITF. One question is asked. Solution of inverse trigonometric equation. Solving the inverse trigonometric equation and getting the value of x. One such question is asked. Infinite series. Finding sum to infinity of a given series. Most of the time they ask questions on tan inverse x minus y by 1 plus xy, which is tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. Okay, and most all the terms are going to cancel, only 2 terms will be left out. Such kind of questions. It's a typical JEE level question. Most of the time they ask. And miscellaneous questions which are of mixing type, that is 3 questions are asked. Altogether 14 questions were asked, including both January and April shift. We'll discuss the questions one by one. Okay. The first question, y is equal to cos of pi by 3 plus cos inverse x by 2. We have to find x minus y the whole square plus 3y square is equal to how much? Question asked on 2nd of April, second shift, 2025. So this given expression takes the form cos of a plus b. Cos of a plus b. What is the compound angle formula? We know cos of a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Shall apply that formula and go on simplify it. We know the values of cos pi by 3 and sin pi by 3. Cos pi by 3 is half. Sin pi by 3 is root 3 by 2. Okay. So given expression is y is equal to cos of pi by 3 plus cos inverse x by 2. Very simple questions are asked from this topic if you have practiced well. So cos of a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Correct? Cos of pi by 3 into cos of cos inverse x by 2. Cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Sin a sin of cos inverse x by 2. From this, we can simplify it. Cos pi by 3 is 1 by 2 as I told. Cos of cos inverse x by 2 is x by 2 minus sin pi by 3 is root 3 by 2. Sin of cos inverse x by 2. Here we should know one formula. Sin of cos inverse x, if x is belonging to the interval 0 to 1, in that case I can write this as sin of cos inverse x. Cos inverse x is sin inverse root 1 minus x square. X means x by 1. Cos inverse of means it is adjacent side by hypotenuse, right? X is x by 1, right? So if we convert this cos inverse to sin inverse, it becomes sin of cos inverse x is, you must know this as a formula, sin inverse of root 1 minus x square. Okay. So sin of sin inverse root 1 minus x square is root 1 minus x square. So sin of cos inverse x is root 1 minus x square. You must know this. Okay. So I'll be using that. Sin pi by 3 I wrote the value root 3 by 2. Sin of cos inverse x by 2. Sin of cos inverse x is root 1 minus x square. You must know this. If you're not knowing this, please make a note of this. Take this triangle, mark the angle as theta. Cos inverse of x is theta, means cos theta is x. X means x by 1. So cos is adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So opposite side will be root of 1 minus x square by using Pythagoras theorem. So sin theta will be opposite by hypotenuse. Sin theta will be what? Root of 1 minus x square, right? Sin theta is opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Root of 1 minus x square by 1. So theta is equal to sin inverse of root 1 minus x square, correct? Cos inverse of x is sin inverse of root 1 minus x square. So learn this as a formula. Sin of cos inverse x is root 1 minus x square. But instead of x, what we have is x by 2 here, correct? So sin of cos inverse x by 2 will be root of 1 minus x by 2 square. X by 2 square is x square by 4. So this will be root of 1 minus x by 2 square, which is x square divided by 4. Sin of cos inverse x by 2 is root of 1 minus x by 2 square. Understood? Please make a note of this. Sin of cos inverse x is root of 1 minus x square. So sin of cos inverse x by 2 is root of 1 minus x by 2 square, which is x square by 4. Go on, simplify this. This is equal to x by 4 minus root 3 by 2 into, here you take LCM inside the root, I'll get root of 4 minus x square divided by 4, and root 4 is 2, correct? So y is equal to x by 4 minus root 3 by 2 into root of 4 minus x square divided by root 4 is 2, correct? So 2 into 2 becomes 4, cross multiply this, I'll get 4y. Taking common denominator as 4, I'll get 4y is equal to x minus root 3 into root of 4 minus x square. Correct? And rearrange the terms from this. Minus root 3 into root of 4 minus x square. Shift it to left hand side. I'll get root 3 into root of 4 minus x square is equal to x minus 4y. Do squaring on both sides. If you do squaring on both sides, this becomes 3 into 4 minus x square is equal to x minus 4 by the whole square. Squaring on both sides. Correct? So we can erase this part, which is not required for time being. It's already done. Correct? So what we got? Open the bracket and simplify it. It's equal to 3 into 4 is 12. 12 minus 3x square is equal to, expanding this, x minus 4 by the whole square. What do you get? X square plus 4 by the whole square, that is 16y square, minus 4 into 2, that is 8x square, get 2ab part. Expanding this, a minus b whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab. 2ab part of that will be 8xy. Okay. Rearrange the terms and simplify it further. What we get? X square plus 3x square becomes 4x square, correct? Plus 16y square minus 8xy is equal to 12. We can divide this entire equation by 4. 4 is common, right? Divide the entire equation by 4. We get x square plus 4y square, correct? Minus 2xy is equal to 3. Dividing by 4 throughout. X square plus 4y square minus 2xy equal to 3. What is asked in the question is x minus y the whole square plus 3y square. This we call it as star, equation star. Okay. Required is that. Required is x minus y the whole square plus 3y square. X minus y the whole square, if I expand it, what do you get? X square plus y square minus 2xy plus 3y square. Y square plus 3y square is 4y square. So what I am getting is x square plus 4y square minus 2xy. That is same as this equation star. Correct? What I got here, x square plus 4y square minus 2xy is equal to 3. The same thing is asked in the question. So required answer is 3. Hope I understand this. Quite simple question. Okay. Just expand using cos of a plus b formula, cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, and cos of cos inverse x by 2 is x by 2. We assume that x by 2 lies between minus 1 and plus 1, correct? So cos of cos inverse x is x, correct? Sin of cos inverse x by 2 is root of 1 minus x by 2 square, which is x square by 4. Move on to the next one. Here the domain of the function f of x is given like this, is the closed open interval alpha beta. Want to find alpha square plus 4 into beta. First find the domain of the log function, then find the domain of sin inverse. You know, domain of sin inverse of x is such that x should lie between minus 1 plus 1, the closed interval, right? So domain of log function is such that x should be greater than 0. I'll write here domain of log function, domain of log function. Log x is defined for x is greater than 0. Correct? You must know this. Instead of x, what is given is 2x minus 3 by 5 plus 4x. This quantity should be greater than 0. That condition is there. And domain of sin inverse of x is such that x should lie between minus 1 to plus 1, right? The value of x should lie between minus 1 and plus 1. These two things you must know. Instead of x, what is given is 4 plus 3x by 2 minus x. That quantity should lie between minus 1 plus 1, including the endpoints. I should solve the double inequality there. Okay. So then take the intersection of these two. I am using domain of f plus g. Domain of f plus g is equal to domain of f intersection domain of g. Domain of sum of the two functions is equal to domain of the first function intersection domain of the second function. I'm going to use this concept, okay? Domain of sum of the two functions is asked. So you have to find domain of the first function plus then intersect with domain of the second function. Take the common values for these two, because for same values of x, both should get defined, correct? So that is why we should take intersection. For same values of x, both the terms should be defined, correct? So first we'll begin with this. Domain of log of 2x minus 3 by 5 plus 4x is such that this bracket should be greater than 0. So I'll begin with this. Log of 2x minus 3 divided by 5 plus 4x. 5 plus 4x is such that this quantity should be greater than 0. 2x minus 3 divided by 5 plus 4x, this should be greater than 0. Correct? I can use Wavy-Cobb method and get the solutions for this. Okay? For numerator becomes 0 at x equal to 3 by 2. Correct? Numerator becomes 0 at x equal to 3 by 2. Denominator becomes 0 at x equal to minus 5 by 4. Correct? So we can use Wavy-Cobb method. I'll take the number line and represent it on the number line, those two as the critical points, where numerator becomes 0 and denominator becomes 0 are taken as critical points. Numerator becomes 0 at x equal to 3 by 2, right? 2x minus 3 equal to 0. I'll get x equal to 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is 0. 1.5. 5 plus 4x equal to 0 will give 4x equal to minus 5. So x is minus 5 by 4. Mark those points. X equal to minus 5 by 4. Okay, you see that coefficient of x is positive in the numerator and denominator. So extreme right side you start. Extreme right side will be positive. Okay, 3 by 2 is got from this expression, right? So its power is 1, right? 2x minus 3 power 1. So if the power of 2x minus 3 is odd number, what happens? The sign changes. Plus will become minus. I'm using Wavy-Cobb method here. Okay, Wavy-Cobb method is applicable. Or else you can write the solutions directly by the rules of inequalities. Some results are there on inequalities. Using that also you can write x minus a by x minus b greater than 0 means x belongs to the interval minus infinity to a union b to infinity. That we can write. Assume that a is less than b. Or I am using Wavy-Cobb method. Wavy-Cobb method is applicable. Here I am taking starting from extreme right side. Extreme right side you start. Right side of 3 by 2 is positive because coefficient of x ratio is positive, correct? So 3 by 2 is derived from where? You ask the question to your mind. 3 by 2 is derived from the numerator, correct? So numerator the power is 1. 2x minus 3 its power is 1, right? So power is odd number means sign changes when you come from this right to left. Next point is minus 5 by 4. Minus 5 by 4 is derived from where? from the denominator. Denominator is 5 plus 4x. Its power is 1, right? 1 is odd number. Odd number means again the sign changes. Minus will become plus. Correct? The number line extends from minus infinity to plus infinity, right? So the solution for this will be, this quantity should be greater than 0, means I can write where positive means greater than 0. Where it is positive, minus infinity to minus 5 by 4, union 3 by 2 to infinity. Here it is positive as well as here. So solution for this inequality is x belongs to the interval, minus infinity to minus 5 by 4, union 3 by 2 to infinity. That is the first part. Coming to the second part, sin inverse. Sin inverse of x is such that x should lie between minus 1 to plus 1, including the endpoints. That is, x belongs to the closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. So this expression, this bracket should lie between minus 1 plus 1. And then I should solve the double inequality. Okay. So coming to this part. Sin inverse of 4 plus 3x. Sin inverse of 4 plus 3x divided by 2 minus x is such that this bracket should lie between minus 1 to plus 1, is such that 4 plus 3x by 2 minus x, that should lie between minus 1 and plus 1. 4 plus 3x divided by 2 minus x, okay, should lie between minus 1 and plus 1. Solve this first half and second half separately and get the solution set. Okay, combining the first half and combining the second half. If we combine the first half, what do you get? Minus 1 less than or equal to 4 plus 3x divided by 2 minus x. Solve this. Okay, what we get? So shift this minus 1 to left hand side, becomes plus 1. So what I'll get, 0 is less than or equal to 4 plus 3x divided by 2 minus x plus 1. Correct? Minus 1 shifted to the other side. So now take common denominator from this. 0 is less than or equal to 2 minus x is common denominator. Taking LCM. Correct? 4 plus 2 becomes 6. 3x minus x, that becomes 2x. Correct? 4 plus 3x plus 2 minus x. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3x plus minus x becomes 2x. Or you can multiply by minus 1. If you multiply by minus 1, inequality is going to reverse, because in the denominator coefficient of x is negative. I want to make it positive. So if you multiply by minus 1, this will become 2x plus 6. 2x plus 6 divided by x minus 2. Correct? I multiply by minus 1. Inequality is going to reverse. Greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to 0. Now again apply the AVCOM method, where numerator becomes 0 at x equal to minus 3. Where denominator becomes 0 at x equal to 2. Correct? If you're using this AVCOM method to represent this, denominator becomes 0 for x equal to 2 and numerator becomes 0 for x equal to minus 3. Minus 3 is smaller, 2 is bigger. Correct? So if you start from right side of 2, it is positive. Correct? Because coefficient of x in numerator and denominator both are positive. Right side, extreme right you go, right side of 2 is positive. 2 is derived from where? 2 is derived from x minus 2. X minus 2 is to the power 1. So odd number. Power of x minus 2 is 1. It is an odd number. Odd number means sign changes. Plus will become minus. Minus 3 is derived from where? Minus 3 is derived from 2x plus 6. What is the power of 2x plus 6? 2x plus 6 power 1. Power of 2x plus 6 is 1, which is an odd number. Again sign changes. Minus will become plus. So where it is negative, negative means less than 0. Less than or equal to 0 is there. But denominator should not become 0. Numerator can become 0. So my interval for this will be x belongs to the interval. Denominator can't be 0. Numerator can be 0. So minus 3 is included. 2 is excluded. Correct? It's closed open interval. Minus 3 is included. When you put minus 3, it becomes 0. Denominator should not be 0. So open it 2. So this is a solution set for the first half. Now combining the second half, 4 plus 3x by 2 minus x less than or equal to 1. I should solve this. Should solve this second half. To solve the second half, what happens? 4 plus 3x divided by 2 minus x, that should be less than or equal to 1. From this, we can write it as 4 plus 3x divided by 2 minus x minus 1 less than or equal to 0. Correct? So from this, 2 minus x is common denominator. Correct? 4 minus 2, that will be 2. 3x minus of minus x becomes 4x. This expression should be less than or equal to 0. Correct? Taking common denominator 2 minus x, 4 minus 2, 2, 3x minus x, 3 plus x becomes 4x. Where numerator becomes 0, 4x plus 2, 0 means x equal to minus half. When denominator becomes 0 at x equal to, but coefficient of x is negative, make it positive here. Multiply by minus 1. 4x plus 2 divided by 2 minus x, I'll make x minus 2. That means I multiply by minus 1. So when you multiply by minus 1 on both sides, inequality is going to reverse, greater than or equal to 0. So critical points are minus half and 2. So I'll mark those critical points. Minus half is smaller, 2 is bigger, correct? Coefficient of x in numerator denominator is positive. So right side you start plus, correct? Alternate minus plus you write. We want greater than or equal to 0. That means minus infinity to minus half, union 2 to infinity. So solution set for this will be x belongs to the interval minus infinity to minus half, correct? Minus half is included, union 2 to infinity. 2 should be excluded, open interval, 2 to infinity. So we should combine all these three. Take the intersection of this, this and this. That will be the solution. And that is the interval alpha beta, closed open interval alpha beta. Then you have to find alpha square plus 4 beta. So we'll take the intersection of all these three. Okay. So we shall write. I'll represent here itself. I'll take a number line. I'll take another ink here to make it distinguish. I'll represent this using white. Okay, represent here itself. Mark all the critical points. Minus 5 by 4 is there, 3 by 2 is there, minus 3, minus half 2, correct? Smallest is minus 3 among all these things, correct? Smallest is minus 3. Then comes minus 5 by 4, correct? Then minus half. So minus 3 I'll represent it first. Minus 3. Then minus 5 by 4. Minus 5 by 4. Then we got minus half. Then 2 is there. 3 by 2 is there. 3 by 2 is smaller than 2. 3 by 2 is here. Then we have 2. Okay. According to this, we'll represent all the three. I'm taking intersection, solution of this and this and this. I'm taking common values. Minus infinity to minus 5 by 4. That is here. Minus infinity to minus 5 by 4. Open interval. Union 3 by 2 infinity. 3 by 2 to infinity. Correct? Solution of this is represented. Solution of this. Minus 3 to 2. Closed open interval. Correct? Closed open interval. Minus 3 is included. Minus 3 is included up till 2. So it comes like this. Minus 3 to 2. Minus 3 is included. Okay. 2 is excluded. Solution is shown. What about this? Minus infinity to minus half, union 2 to infinity. Minus infinity to minus half. So I'll represent here. Minus infinity to minus infinity to minus half, correct? Minus half. Union 2 to infinity. From 2 is excluded here. 2 to infinity. It goes like this. Take the intersection of all these three. This should be present. Among these two, no, any one can be present because OR is there. Among these two also, any one can be present. So what is common for all the three? Here it is from 2 to infinity, correct? 2 to infinity, this is going, but there is no common here. Here you can't find common because common means all three should be there. Here can you find common? This is present, this is absent, this is present. These two are present, but this is absent. So here we don't get any common value, correct? I should get it as the closed open interval. Can we get common here? Here also it's not common, right? Here I don't get common. Here I can get common, correct? Here I can get common. See, all three. This is present, this is present, this is present. Here these two are present, but this is absent. This is a common value, correct? I'll represent this using some other ink. You can use pink, we shall use. This part you can see common, right? Not this, sorry. Not this. Where we're getting common? Here I'm getting common, correct? Minus 3 to minus 5 by 4. This part is found common. And minus 3 is included everywhere for this, this and this. So minus 3 is included. And minus 5 by 4, here it is excluded. So I'm getting excluded here, correct? So that is a solution set. Minus 5 by 4. Okay. So my interval is closed open interval alpha to beta, which is minus 3 to minus 5 by 4. Minus 3 included, minus 5 by 4 is excluded. So my interval is going to be minus 3 to minus 5 by 4, which is your closed open interval alpha to beta, correct? Alpha to beta, beta is open here. So if we compare, I get the values of alpha and beta. Alpha is minus 3 and beta is minus 5 by 4. I'll write the solution here. Finally, we got the answer. Alpha equal to minus 3 and beta is equal to minus 5 by 4. What I need to find is alpha square plus 4 beta. Alpha is minus 3. Minus 3 square is 9. 4 beta. 4 into minus 5 by 4. Correct? 4 cancels. What I am getting? 9 plus minus 5. 9 minus 5, which is 4. Required answer is 4. Correct? It takes more time. We have to be a little bit faster to do the problem. We can't take more time actually. Baby curve method I have explained and wrote. You can write directly if you are aware of this. Okay? If you are used to it, you can write the solution set directly. It doesn't take much time. Because since I am explaining all and writing, it takes more time. Okay? We can solve within 1.5 minutes. Maximum 1.5 minutes is enough to solve this. Doesn't take much time. Okay. 4 questions are asked in April and January shift altogether. Questions on finding domain of the function. So we can't neglect it. It's a quite important one. Okay. So frequently asked question. It's a typical JEE level question. Move on to the next one. Question number 3. Considering the principal values of the inverse trigonometric functions, you need to simplify this. And you see that there is root of 1 minus x square. And the condition is x lying between minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. Even in NCERT book also we got this kind of expression, correct? Whenever x value lies between minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2, if it is root 1 minus x square, we put x equal to sine theta, correct? If the given expression contains root of 1 minus x square, and if the condition is x lying between minus 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2, we put x equal to sine theta. If it is x lying between 1 by root 2 to 1, then if it contains root 1 minus x square, we put cos theta. Here x lies between minus 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2, and there is root of 1 minus x square. We go for substitution, x equal to sine theta, and proceed. Okay, put x equal to sine theta and do. Put x equal to sine theta into this expression. Put x equal to sine theta. Put x equal to sine theta. Go on, simplify it. The given expression is, I'll write GE. GE means the given expression. Sine inverse of, what do you get? Root 3 by 2 into x is sine theta. In place of x, I'm putting sine theta plus half into root of 1 minus sine square theta. 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta. Root of cos square theta is mod of cos theta. Mod of cos theta is cos theta. Because x is sine theta, means where does theta lie? Because x lies between minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. No, given condition is x is lying between minus 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2. Correct? So that means minus 1 by root 2 less than x, x is sine theta, correct? Sine theta is lying between minus 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2. That means theta will lie between minus pi by 4 and pi by 4, correct? So in the interval minus pi by 4 to pi by 4, I can tell cos theta is positive. It is part of the first quadrant and part of the fourth quadrant. 0 to pi by 4 is part of the first quadrant. First quadrant, every trigonometry function is positive. Minus pi by 4 to 0 is part of the fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant also cos function is positive. So 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta. Root of cos square theta is mod of cos theta. And mod of cos theta is cos theta, because in this interval theta is, cos theta is positive, correct? Theta lies between minus pi by 4 to pi by 4, cos theta is positive. So given expression simplifies to sine inverse of root 3 by 2 into sine theta plus 1 by 2 into cos theta, correct? Actually, I am getting mod of cos theta. 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta. Understood? 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta by using fundamental trigonometric identity. By using fundamental trigonometric identity. And root of cos square theta is mod of cos theta. Remember, root of x square is mod x. Root of x square is not simply x. Root of x square is mod x. Root of cos square theta is mod of cos theta. And theta lies between minus pi by 4 to pi by 4, which is part of the first and fourth quadrant. In first and fourth quadrant, cos function is positive. So mod of cos theta is cos theta by applying the definition of modulus function, because cos theta is positive. Cos theta is greater than or equal to 0 in that interval, correct? So cos theta is, of course, the strict inequality, greater than 0, correct? That 0 also, cos 0 is 1, right? So it is a strict inequality. Yeah. Now I'll express the terms inside the bracket in the form of sine of a plus b. Okay. Root 3 by 2 I can express it as cos pi by 6. 1 by 2 can be expressed as sine pi by 6. I'll express this as sine pi by 6 and cos pi by 6 and sine pi by 6. Correct? I'll express this root 3 by 2 is cos pi by 6. Root 3 by 2 is cos pi by 6. 1 by 2 is sine pi by 6, right? So that it takes the form sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. If you are doing the other way, root 3 by 2 could also be written as sine pi by 3 and 1 by 2 is cos pi by 3. That is also possible. In that case, it becomes cos A cos B plus sine A sine, which is cos of A minus B. But outside the bracket, I got sine inverse. So I want to express this in terms of sine. That becomes easier, correct? That's why I'm choosing cos pi by 6 and sine pi by 6. I'm not taking I'm not taking cos pi by 3 and sine pi by 3. I'm not taking that. Okay, 1 by 2 is cos pi by 3, root 3 by 2 sine pi by 3. That is also correct. But I'm not taking that way. I'm taking this way. So this expression becomes equal to sine inverse of what we have, sine theta into cos pi by 6 plus cos theta into sine pi by 6. Which form it takes? Sine A cos B plus cos A sine, which is sine of A plus B. Terms inside the bracket is sine of theta plus pi by 6. Sine inverse of sine of theta plus pi by 6. Whether the question arises is whether theta plus pi by 6 belongs to the principal branch of sine inverse. That's the question. Where is theta? According to this, theta is between minus pi by 4 and pi by 4, right? Theta is between minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. My angle present is theta plus pi by 6. See, where does it lie? Theta plus pi by 6. Theta plus pi by 6. Add pi by 6 for all. Pi by 4 plus pi by 6. That is 5 pi by 12. Correct? And minus pi by 4 plus pi by 6. That will be minus pi by 12. Correct? Minus 45 plus 30. Minus 15 degree. So my theta value, theta plus pi by 6 will lie between minus pi by 12 and 5 pi by 12. Theta plus pi by 6 lies between minus pi by 12 and 5 pi by 12, which is the part of the principal branch of sine inverse. In terms of degrees, if you want, I'll express. If you're not comfortable with radian, I'll tell this is 75 degree. This is minus 15 degree. What is the principal branch of sine inverse? Closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Means minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree in terms of degrees. Definitely this angle minus 15 to 75 degree is a part, it's a subset. It's present in our principal branch, I can tell. Minus 90 to plus 90. It's a part of our principal branch. So I can write this sine inverse of sine of theta plus pi by 6 as theta plus pi by 6. Finally, substitute back for theta. Because I put x equal to sine theta, from this I can write theta is equal to sine inverse of x. So what I'm going to get? Sine inverse of x plus pi by 6, or same as pi by 6 plus sine inverse of x. Option B is the answer. Question asked on 4th of April, first shift, 2025. Okay, very nice question asked. A simple question, not a big deal at all. So all these things are very commonly asked question for JEE exams. Move on to the next one. Question number 4. Sum of the infinite series is asked here. Okay, here infinitely many terms are there, and you can see cot inverse. And the terms inside the bracket you should observe. There is a pattern for this. What is the pattern you should identify? And these kind of problems, normally we use the formula tan inverse of x minus y by 1 plus xy. I'll write the formula here. The formula which I'm going to use in this problem is tan inverse of x minus y divided by 1 plus xy is equal to tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. This is the formula I'm going to use. I'll convert this cot inverse to tan inverse everywhere, and also the form, which form it takes, that is important for us. The terms inside the bracket, you can see the numbers 7 by 4, 19 by 4, 39 by 4, 67 by 4. That numbers you should identify, and you have to generalize that number, okay, in terms of in terms of a general expression. This is for x into y greater than minus 1. Condition is there. So in the bracket, you see denominator everywhere 4 is there, right? And numerator, the numbers are 7, 19, 39, 67. 7, 19, 39, 67 take some pattern. Can you identify what is the pattern for that? 7 is actually 4 plus 3. 19 is 16 plus 3, correct? See that 7 is 4 plus 3. 19 is 16 plus 3, right? And 39 is 36 plus 3. 67 is 64 plus 3. Hope you understand. Are you getting the pattern? 4 is 2 square. 16 is 4 square. 36 is 6 square. 64 is 8 square. So even square plus 3 I am getting. Correct? 2 square plus 3. 4 square plus 3, 6 square plus 3, 8 square plus 3. How do you represent even number? Any even integer is represented by 2n. So in general I can tell it takes the form 2n the whole square plus 3. 2n the whole square, correct? 2n the whole square plus 3. It is taking this form. 2n the whole square, because even square plus 3, 2 square plus 3, 4 square plus 3, 6 square plus 3, 8 square plus 3, even square plus 3. Even number is represented by 2n. 2n the whole square plus 3, which is 4n square plus 3. 4n square plus 3. Right? So I can write this in terms of summation. Summation, the given expression is equal to summation r is equal to 1 to infinity, because there are infinitely many terms. Cot inverse of numerator takes the form 4n square plus 3 or 4r square plus 3, right? In general 4r square plus 3 divided by 4, correct? And you know cot inverse of x is tan inverse of 1 by x by using property, correct? Cot inverse of x is tan inverse of 1 by x using the properties of ITF. For x greater than 0, we know this property, very commonly used. Even though it's deleted from the NCERT book, we need to learn this for competitive exams. Cot inverse of x equal tan inverse of 1 by x for x greater than 0. It's actually not present in the NCERT book, okay? Now it's deleted. Earlier it was given in the NCERT book also. But still, for competitive exams, all these properties you have to study. Here and there, you're going to use that. So, you can't neglect that. So cot inverse of x is tan inverse of 1 by x. So tan inverse of reciprocal I am going to write here. Correct? So this is equal to summation r is equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of what I am getting 4 divided by 4r square plus 3. My aim is to reduce this bracket to this form tan inverse of x minus y by 1 plus xy. So what I am going to do is I'll divide the numerator and denominator by 4. Okay, divide numerator and denominator by 4. So this becomes summation r is equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of, correct, I'm dividing numerator by 4. 4 by 4 is 1. 4r square by 4, that is r square plus 3 by 4. Divide numerator and denominator by 4. Correct? And I'll write 3 by 4 as 1 minus 1 by 4. So that I can write r square minus 1 by 4 as r minus half into r plus half. I can use a square minus b square formula. Write 3 by 4 as 1 minus 1 by 4. Okay? This is equal to summation r is equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus r square minus 1 by 4. Correct? 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. Correct? All these things is not required. We can erase this part. Hope you understood all these things. Okay? It's for understanding purpose. I wrote more steps. Now, denominator r square minus 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is half square. R square minus half square, correct? R square minus half square, I can write it as 1 by 4 is half square. It takes the form a square minus b square. What is a square minus b square? A plus b into a minus b. I can write it as r plus half into r minus half. R plus half into r minus half. Correct? And the difference of these two is going to be 1, right? What is 1? I can write 1 could be written as r plus half minus of r minus half, expressing the numerator in terms of denominator. Correct? R minus r is 0. Half minus minus half, that becomes plus 1. Correct? So given expression is equal to summation r is equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of numerator 1, I'll write like this. 1 is r plus half minus r minus half. Hope you understand. R minus r is 0. Half minus minus half. Half plus half is 1. So I'll express this like this. R plus half minus r minus half divided by 1 plus r plus half. This I'll factorize it like this. A square minus b square, which is a plus b into a minus b. R plus half into r minus half. Now it takes the form tan inverse of x minus y by 1 plus xy, which is tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. Correct? So this becomes summation of r is equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of r plus half minus tan inverse of r minus half. Correct? Now you can apply r is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Many of the terms are going to cancel. At last, only 2 terms are going to remain. That will be the answer. Okay? When you put r is equal to 1, what I am getting here? When you put r is equal to 1, tan inverse of 1 plus half, that is 3 by 2, minus tan inverse of 1 minus half. 1 minus half is half. Next, put r is equal to 2. 2 plus half, that is 5 by 2. Tan inverse of 5 by 2. Putting r is equal to 2 here. 2 minus half, that is 3 by 2. Tan inverse 3 by 2. Like that. Next term, putting r is equal to 3. 3 plus half, 3 and half, 7 by 2. Tan inverse 7 by 2 minus tan inverse of, putting r is equal to 3. 3 minus half, that is 5 by 2. Tan inverse of 5 by 2. Like this it goes on, correct? Like this it goes on. And last term, putting r is equal to n, then I'll put n tends to infinity, okay? I'll write limit n tends to infinity for this because there are infinitely many terms. I'll write a limit here because I'm putting the general value of n here. At last, limit n tends to infinity, I'll put limit n tends to infinity because there are infinitely many terms. And here I'm writing the nth term. So nth term is got by putting r is equal to n. In place of r you put n. Tan inverse n plus half minus tan inverse of n minus half. Like this. See, tan inverse 3 by 2 is going to cancel here. Tan inverse 3 by 2 minus tan inverse 3 by 2 will add up to 0. Tan inverse 5 by 2 minus tan inverse 5 by 2 will add up to 0. Next term will be tan inverse 7 by 2 minus tan inverse 7 by 2. Tan inverse 7 by 2 will cancel. Last but one term will be tan inverse of n minus half minus tan inverse of n minus 3 by 2. Tan inverse of n minus half is going to cancel. Correct? Here tan inverse of 3 by 2 cancels. Tan inverse of 5 by 2 will cancel. What will not cancel is tan inverse of n plus half minus tan inverse of 1 by 2. And as n tends to infinity, infinity plus half is infinity. Tan inverse of infinity becomes pi by 2. So what I'm going to get is pi by 2. Correct? As n tends to infinity, this is approaching infinity. Tan inverse of infinity is pi by 2. As I'm telling, as n tends to infinity, tan inverse of that expression is tending to pi by 2. So this is tan inverse of 1 by 2 already given in the option B. Pi by 2 minus tan inverse of 1 by 2. Further they not simplified it. We could simplify this. Pi by 2 minus tan inverse x is cot inverse x. I could write this as cot inverse of 1 by 2. And cot inverse of 1 by 2 is tan inverse of 2. That also could be written, but they simplified here itself. They stopped the simplification part here itself. See, answer is option B. Pi by 2 minus tan inverse 1 by 2. So these kind of questions, many times questions were asked in the previous year questions of JEE exams. Okay, so it's not a difficult one, it's not a new one also, it's a commonly asked question. Only thing is that you have to generalize this bracket properly. Denominator 4 everywhere you can see, and using the property cot inverse of x is tan inverse of 1 by x, and important step is dividing numerator and denominator by 4 and writing 3 by 4 as 1 minus 1 by 4. Then factorize r square minus 1 by 4 as r plus half into r minus half, and write numerator 1 as r plus half minus r minus half. Then use the formula tan inverse x minus y by 1 plus xy. Tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. And go on simplify. All the terms will cancel. When you apply the summation, only 2 terms will remain. Apply a limit and get the answer. Answer is option B. Practice these kind of questions, okay? Please make a note of this. Move on to the next one. Question number 5. Domain of f of x and g of x. Domain of f of x is the interval alpha beta. Domain of g of x is the interval gamma delta, closed interval. Want to find alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square plus delta square equal to how much? So log function is there, sin inverse is there. So we shall simplify. No need to find the intersection of these two function domain, or separately find out. Find the domain of the log function, find the domain of the inverse trigonometric function. So f of x is given like this. F of x is given as, f of x is given to be equal to log to the base 4, log to the base 3, log to the base 7 of 8 minus log to the base 2 of what we have, x square plus 4x plus 5. Correct? So now, log function domain, you know, log x is defined as that x should be positive. So I'll take this entire quantity, this should be positive, correct? So I'll round off it here using this. This entire thing should be positive. This entire thing should be positive. I'll take the outermost log. This should be positive, correct? Log of this entire thing should be positive. Then log of this should be positive. This should be positive. All those things we should discuss. So this entire thing should be positive, right? So first I'll take log to the base 3, log to the base 3, log to the base 7 of 8 minus log to the base 2 of x square plus 4x plus 5. This quantity should be greater than 0. Correct? This entire thing should be greater than 0. Now, I'll convert the log to exponential form. Okay. So the bases are greater than 1, right? So it's an increasing function. If the base lies between 0 and 1 for a log, then it is a decreasing function. Decreasing function means inequality is good. Reverse. For increasing function, inequality remains the same. So I'm converting this now. Log to the base, this I won't write. I'm converting this. 3 power 0 is 1, correct? So without this log, I'm writing. So log to the base 7 of 8 minus log to the base 2 of x square plus 4x plus 5. Correct? I am removing this log to the base 3. This quantity should be greater than 3 power 0. What is 3 power 0, which is equal to 1? Correct? So now I am removing this log now. To remove this log, what happens? This becomes 8 minus log to the base 2, 8 minus log to the base 2 of x square plus 4x plus 5. This should be greater than 7 power 1. 7 power 1, which is 7. Now 8 minus 7 is 1, correct? So 1 minus log to the base 2 of x square plus 4x plus 5. This should be greater than 0. That means 1 should be greater than, I'm getting like this. 1 is greater than log to the base 2 of x square plus 4x plus 5. Like this. Again you convert this. 2 to the power 1, that is 2. Correct? 2 power 1 is greater than x square plus 4x plus 5. Correct? So what we get from this? X square plus 4x plus how much? 5 minus 2, 3. That should be less than 0. Correct? So we can factorize this as x plus 1 into x plus 3 less than 0. Correct? By using Wavy-Kaur method, I'll get the solution set for this as x belongs to the open interval. Minus 3 to minus 1. Correct? Minus 3 is smaller. Minus 1 is bigger. So x belongs to the open interval. Minus 3 to minus 1. Further, I should consider that even this log should be greater than 0. This log I consider, no? Even this should be greater than 0. Correct? And even this should be greater than 0 for this log to be defined. For this log to be defined, this should be greater than 0. What about this log? Log to the base 7, log to the base 7 of 8 minus. It is already greater than 1, right? It is already greater than 1. What I told is, see, log to the base 3, this quantity was greater than 0 I took. Next, I should take this should be greater than 0. This is greater than 0, I should take actually, but this expression is already greater than 1, right? So, greater than 1 and greater than 0, common is greater than 1. So, no need to solve that, waste of time. Next, also I should consider log 8 minus log to the base 2 x square plus 4x plus 5. This quantity should be positive, but this quantity is already greater than 7. Greater than 7 and greater than 0. Common is greater than 7. So this itself is more sufficient for us. No need to solve that. Okay. Hope you understand. I repeat the sentence what I told again. I started from this quantity greater than 0. Then this quantity should be greater than 0. This quantity log to the base 7 of this is already greater than 1. Greater than 0 and greater than 1. Stronger or intersection is greater than 1. So no need to take that condition. And this quantity should be positive. 8 minus log to the base 2 of x square plus 4x plus 5. That should be positive. It is already greater than 7. Greater than 7 and greater than 0. Common is greater than 7. So this itself is enough. Okay. And further I should have x square plus 4x plus 5 greater than 0. Correct. Further x square plus 4x plus 5 should be greater than 0. This is a quadratic expression, right? This quadratic expression is already positive. Definitely positive for all x belongs to R, because coefficient of x square is positive and b square minus 4ac is negative. Condition for quadratic to be positive is b square minus 4ac. The delta discriminant should be negative and coefficient of x square should be positive. So using that, see, coefficient of x square is 1, already positive. If you find b square minus 4ac, it's going to be negative here because b square minus 4ac is negative. B square minus 4ac is how much? 4 square 16 minus 4 into 1 into 5, correct? That is 16 minus 20 minus 4, which is negative. B square minus 4ac is negative and coefficient of x square is positive. Then the quadratic is always positive. It's always positive means what? It is true for all x belongs to R. So no condition is required. It is true for every real number. For every real number it is true. So only one condition I'm going to get here, intersection of all these things. So domain of f we got. Domain of f is this. This is the domain of f. The open interval minus 3 to minus 1. Domain of the function f we got. That is given to be equal to the open interval alpha beta, correct? This is given to be equal to the open interval alpha beta. Therefore, what I can tell, alpha is equal to minus 3 and beta is equal to minus 1. We got the values of alpha and beta here. Next, go for sine inverse. Sine inverse of 7x plus 10 by x minus 2 means what? This bracket should lie between minus 1 and plus 1, correct? So this minus 1 less than or equal to 7x plus 10 divided by x minus 2 less than or equal to 1. Solve this double inequality. Combine the first half, combine the second half, correct? So what we get? Minus 1 less than or equal to 7x plus 10 by x minus 2, correct? Can shift this term to this side. 0 less than or equal to 7x plus 10 divided by x minus 2 plus 1. And here second half, 7x plus 10 divided by x minus 2 less than or equal to 1, right? Minus 1 less than or equal to 0. Take a common denominator and simplify. 0 less than or equal to x minus 2 is common denominator. 7x plus x becomes 8x. 10 minus 2 becomes 8. Here x minus 2 is common denominator, correct? 7x plus 10, 7x minus x becomes 6x. 6x. Correct? 7x minus x. 10 minus 10 plus 2, 12. This should be less than or equal to 0. Here numerator becomes 0 for x equal to minus 1. Denominator becomes 0 for x equal to 2. Solution set of this, correct? You want this expression to be greater than or equal to 0. So solution set, if you write now using Wavy-Cobb method, x belongs to the interval minus infinity to minus 1 union 2 to infinity, correct? Denominator becomes 0 for x equal to 2. Numerator becomes 0 for x equal to minus 1. If you use the Wavy-Cobb method, I'll just represent here itself. Minus 1 and 2 are the critical points, correct, for this. And right side of 2, if you start, it is going to be positive, negative, positive, correct, using Wavy-Cobb method. So this is positive here. We want greater than or equal to 0. So I can tell x belongs to the interval minus infinity to minus 1 union 2 to infinity. X belongs to the interval minus infinity to minus 1. Minus 1 can be included, union 2 to infinity. And here numerator becomes 0 for x equal to minus 2. Denominator becomes 0 for x equal to 2. If you use Wavy-Cobb method for that, minus 2 and plus 2 as the critical points. Minus 2 and plus 2, right? 7x minus x, 6x, 10 minus 2, 10 plus 2, 12. Correct, no, minus 2 and plus 2. So right side of 2 is positive, alternate plus minus using Wavy-Cobb method because we know the sign scheme for that. Coefficient of x in the numerator denominator is positive, and we start from right side. The powers of x minus 2 is odd number, power of 6x plus 12 also odd number. So sign changes, plus minus plus. We want less than or equal to 0, that means negative, possible in the interval minus 2 to plus 2. Solution set for this is going to be x belongs to the interval minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2 is included, 2 is excluded. Closed interval minus 2 to plus 2. Closed open interval, correct? 2 is excluded. Now take the intersection of these two. Because I'm solving the double inequality, I need to find the common values for this. So common values for this can be obtained by plotting this on the number line. So minus infinity to minus 1 union 2 to infinity is there. that we can represent somewhere here. I'll represent it here. Okay, solution set for this. Minus infinity to minus 1. Minus 1, 2, minus 2. Minus 2 is also required here. Minus 2 is there. Minus 1 is there. Correct. Then 2 is there. Correct. Minus 2, minus 1, 2. Only 3 numbers are required. According to this, minus infinity to minus 1. Minus infinity to minus 1. Union 2 to infinity. Correct. And this is minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2 is included. 2 is excluded. Correct. According to this. Common solution for these two is what? Where you can see the common solution. This side I can't get any common. Here I can find the common values. Correct. Minus 2 to minus 1 is common. You can see. It's a closed interval. Gamma delta. So gamma is minus 2. So my solution set for common values for this, the domain of the function g is going to be, I'll write somewhere here, domain of the function g is, I'll write here itself. Domain of the function g is, domain of the function g is the interval minus 2 to minus 1, right? This is the common value. Closed interval minus 2 to minus 1. Minus 2 to minus 1, which is the interval gamma delta. So gamma is minus 2 and gamma is minus 2 and delta is minus 1. We got gamma as delta. Want to find what? Alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square plus delta square. Alpha square how much? Alpha we got minus 3. Minus 3 square 9. Beta we got minus 1. Minus 1 square 1. Gamma we got minus 2. Minus 2 square is 4. Delta we got minus 1. Minus 1 square 1. So we'll add up to 9 plus 1, 10. 10 plus 4, 14 plus 1. 15 is answer. Option D is answer. 15 is answer. Hope you understand. Find the domain of the function f. Find the domain of the function g. And get the values of alpha, beta, gamma, delta and get the answer. Hope you understand. Using Wavy-Curve method, we got the answer. Finding the domain, okay, for log function and find the domain for inverse trigonometric function. Move on to the next one. Question number 6. Question number 5 was over, right? Question number 6. The value of cot inverse root of 1 plus tan square 2 minus 1 by tan 2 minus cot inverse root of 1 plus tan square half plus 1 divided by tan half. Go on, simplify this. 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. Go on, simplify. Root of secant square theta is mod of secant theta. Be careful. Okay. 2 means 2 radians. Can treat that angle as in terms of radian measure. 2 means 2 radian. 2 radian will lie in the second quadrant. 2 radian is approximately 114 degree. Correct. 1 radian is very approximately 57 degree. Of course, 57 degree, 22 minutes, 16 seconds. 1 radian is approximately equal to 57 degree. So 2 radian is an obtuse angle. Be careful. Half is half radian. Half radian is an acute angle. Correct. So given an expression simplifies to. Given expression is cot inverse of 1 plus tan square theta, secant square theta. So root of secant square 2 minus 1 divided by tan 2 minus cot inverse of 1 plus tan square half, secant square half, root of secant square half, correct, plus 1 divided by tan half. Root of secant square is mod of secant. Root of secant square 2. Root of secant square 2 is equal to mod of secant 2. Mod of secant 2 is going to be minus secant 2 because 2 means 2 radian lies in second quadrant. Second quadrant secant function is negative. Mod of x is minus x if x is less than 0. Mod of secant 2 is minus secant 2. So this becomes cot inverse of what I'm going to get minus secant 2 minus 1 divided by tan 2 and secant square half is half radian approximately 28.5 degree Okay, it is an acute angle. So root of secant square half is secant half, because secant half is positive. Half is first quadrant angle. First quadrant, every trigonometry function is positive. So secant half is positive. Root of secant square half, root of secant square half is mod of secant half, mod of secant half, correct? Mod of secant half is going to be equal to secant half, because secant half is positive. So go on, simplify it. Cot inverse of what we have, root of secant square half is secant half plus 1 divided by tan half. Tan we can write sine by cos, secant we can write 1 by cos, and go on, simplify. Minus sign you can take common, correct? This is equal to cot inverse of minus sign if you take common, and cot inverse of minus x will be pi minus cot inverse of x. That also I'll use. Minus sign you can take common there, correct? If you take minus sign common here itself, it becomes plus, and secant 2 plus 1 by tan 2 is going to be positive, because tan 2 is negative, second quadrant, 2 raised 2 radians, second quadrant, tan 2 is negative, secant 2 also negative, correct? And secant 2 is going to be less than minus 1. So a number less than minus 1 plus 1 is going to be negative. Negative by negative is positive. Secant 2 plus 1 by tan 2 is going to be positive. So cot inverse of minus x, I am using pi minus cot inverse x. So pi minus cot inverse of what we have is secant 2 plus 1 divided by tan 2, using cot inverse of minus x, pi minus cot inverse x. And here also this is cot inverse of secant half plus 1 divided by tan half. Secant theta plus 1 by tan theta. This is, and we can write secant as 1 by cos and tan as sine by cos, and go on, simplify it, right? This becomes equal to, given expression is equal to pi minus cot inverse of secant is 1 by cos, tan is sine by cos, 1 by cos plus 1 by sine by cos, correct? 1 by cos 2 plus 1 divided by tan 2 is sine 2 by cos 2, sine 2 divided by cos 2, correct? Here also minus cot inverse of what we have, secant half is 1 by cos, correct? So 1 by cos half plus 1 divided by sine half by cos half, sine half divided by cos half. This becomes equal to pi minus cot inverse of what we have. This becomes 1 plus cos 2 by sine 2, correct? 1 plus cos 2 divided by sine 2 after taking LCM and cancelling cos 2. Similarly here, cot inverse of, here this becomes 1 plus cos half divided by sine half. We know sine theta by 1 plus cos theta is tan theta by 2, correct? See, sine theta by 1 plus cos theta, simplified form is what? Sine theta divided by 1 plus cos theta. Sine theta is 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. And 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos square theta by 2, correct? 2 cancels, 1 cos will cancel, sine by cos is tan theta by 2. Reciprocal of sine theta by 1 plus cos theta is 1 plus cos theta by sine theta. Reciprocal of this is present here. So 1 plus cos theta by sine theta is cot theta by 2. This will simplify to pi minus cot inverse of, correct? Reciprocal of this is cot, correct? Reciprocal of this is present here. So reciprocal of tan is cot. If theta is there, it becomes theta by 2. This will become cot theta by 2, means it becomes cot 1. Cot 1. This will be cot inverse of 1 plus cos half by sine half is cot 1 by 4 it becomes. Half becomes 1 by 4. If theta is there, it becomes theta by 2. Here 1 by 2 half will be 1 by 4. Cot inverse 1 by 4 it becomes. Correct? Using this. Sin theta by 1 plus cos theta is tan theta by 2. So 1 plus cos theta by sin theta is cot theta by 2. Theta is 2, so theta by 2 is 1. Here theta is half, theta by 2 is 1 by 4. Cot inverse of cot 1 is 1. I can write. Cot inverse of, cot inverse of cot, sorry. Not cot inverse. Cot here. Clear? So I can simplify this as what? Pi minus cot inverse of cot 1 is equal to 1. We know cot inverse of cot theta is theta. If theta belongs to 0 to pi, so this 1 means 1 radian lies between 0 and 180, correct? 1 by 4 also lies between 0 and 1 by 4. So cot inverse of cot 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. So we can add this. Becomes pi minus 1 minus 1 by 4. If you add again 5 by 4 minus 5 by 4. So answer is option B, pi minus 5 by 4. Nice question asked. Question asked on 8th of April, second shift, 2025. Nice questions are asked even in this chapter, inverse trigonometry. Move on to the next one. Using the principal values of the inverse trigonometry functions, to find the sum of the maximum and minimum values of this. So, this expression will consider. We know the relationship between secant inverse and cosec inverse. Secant inverse x plus cosec inverse x is pi by 2, right? So, I'll write cosec inverse of x as pi by 2 minus secant inverse of x. We know that property secant inverse x plus cosec inverse x is equal to pi by 2, correct? So, from this property, I'll write cosec inverse of x equal to pi by 2 minus secant inverse x, correct? So, given expression is equal to 16 times secant inverse x the whole square plus cosec inverse of x, I'll write pi by 2 minus secant inverse of x. Pi by 2 minus secant inverse of x the whole square. Expand this, okay, using a minus b the whole square. This becomes 16 into secant inverse x the whole square plus, here I use a minus b whole square formula, a square pi by 2 square pi square by 4 plus secant inverse x the whole square, correct, minus 2ab, 2 into pi by 2 into secant inverse x, that is pi secant inverse x, correct, no? A minus b whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab, 2 into pi by 2 into secant inverse x. Add these two like terms, secant inverse x the whole square plus secant inverse x the whole square. I'll get 2 times secant inverse x the whole square minus pi into secant inverse x plus pi square by 4. We'll complete the square for this quadratic in secant inverse, correct? So I'll take 2 common. To complete the square, we know that coefficient of highest power of x should be positive. Coefficient of secant inverse of x whole square should be positive, and unity should be. So I'll take 2 common from this. Even though 2 is not common, I shall take it out. So 2 comes out, becomes 32 here. 32 into, this becomes secant inverse x the whole square. Since I've taken 2 common, to balance it, I am dividing by 2 for other terms. Minus pi by 2 into secant inverse x plus pi square by 4 by 2 becomes pi square by 8. Correct? So coefficient of secant inverse of x square is unity. I made it 1. So now to complete the square, you take half into coefficient of secant inverse x. Coefficient of secant inverse of x is pi by 2. Half into pi by 2 is pi by 4. I am completing the square. So for this quadratic, so this becomes, given expression is equal to 16 into, 32 into what we have, 32 into, here I am completing the square for this. To complete the square, always remember coefficient of x square should be unity plus 1. Okay, I made it plus 1 by taking 2 common from this. Even though it's not common, taken out and balance it by dividing by 2 for the terms. Now take half of the coefficient of secant inverse x. This becomes secant inverse x minus pi by 4 the whole square. Coefficient of secant inverse x is pi by 2. Half into pi by 2 is pi by 4. Correct? And then subtract square of this term. Plus pi square by 8 you keep as it is. I am subtracting square of this. Square of pi by 4 is pi square by 16. I need to subtract this. That's a method of completing the square. So this is equal to 32 into what we have is secant inverse x minus pi by 4 the whole square. Pi square by 8 minus pi square by 16. Take LCM 16. 2 pi square minus pi square. So I will get pi square by 16. Pi square by 16. I need to find the maximum and minimum value of this. Maximum and minimum values. So we know this takes the form x square. X square minimum is 0. This will become 0 when you put secant inverse of x equal to pi by 4. Correct? So minimum value of this expression. Given expression becomes minimum when you put secant inverse of x equal to pi by 4. Correct? So pi by 4 minus pi by 4 0. 0 square plus pi square divided by 16, which simplifies to 2 pi square. 2 pi square. Okay, this is possible when you put secant inverse of x equal to pi by 4. You know, minimum value of x square is 0. Correct? X square is the parabola. Y equal to x square is the parabola. The vertex will be at origin. Minimum value of x square is 0. So this takes the form x square. So minimum value of this is going to be 0, which happens when secant inverse of x is pi by 4. Correct? Secant inverse of x equal to pi by 4 is possible. Pi by 4 minus pi by 4 is 0. 0 square is 0. 0 plus pi square by 16. So answer is 2 pi square, the minimum value. Similarly, I should find the maximum value. Given expression, maximum value. If you want to get the maximum value of this expression, you take this should become maximum. But see, you know, x square does not have maximum value. But this will have a maximum value because we have secant inverse of x, maximum value is pi. Correct? I want to make this difference greatest. This difference will become greatest when you put x equal to, when you put secant inverse of x is pi, because the range of secant inverse x is closed interval 0 to pi with the exception pi by 2. So I'll put secant inverse of x as pi here. Correct? So that pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4 square is 9 pi square by 16. This difference should become least. This difference should become greatest. Correct? So that is possible when secant inverse of x is pi. So pi minus pi by 4 the whole square, correct, plus pi square divided by 16. So this is equal to 32 into pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4 square is 9 pi square by 16. 9 pi square by 16 plus pi square by 16. This will become 32 into 10 pi square by 16. 16 ones are 16 twos are. So 2 into 10 becomes 20 pi square. Therefore, required is sum of the maximum and minimum values. Therefore, required sum is how much? Sum of the minimum and maximum, or maximum and minimum. Maximum is 20 pi square and the minimum is 2 pi square. So we'll add up to 22 pi square. So sum of the maximum and minimum values is 22 pi square. Option D. Hope you understand. Move on to the next one. 8th one. X is between pi by 2 and 3 pi by 4, including the endpoints. Want to simplify this. Question asked on 23rd of January, first shift, 2025. Cos inverse of given expression is equal to cos inverse of 12 by 13 into cos x plus 5 by 13 into sin x. We can express this in terms of cos and sin, because 12, 5 and 13 are Pythagorean triplets. 5 square plus 12 square is 13 square, correct? Pythagorean triplets we can apply. So if you define 12 by 13 as cos alpha, 5 by 13 will be sin alpha. If you take a triangle and mark the angle as alpha here, correct? Cos is adjacent side by hypotenuse and sin is opposite by hypotenuse. I'll define 12 by 13 as cos alpha. Cos alpha equal to 12 by 13. Correct? So sin alpha is 5 by 13. Opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Correct? So this becomes cos inverse of cos alpha into cos x plus sin alpha into sin x. I'm defining cos alpha is 12 by 13. If you define cos alpha as 12 by 13, sin alpha will be 5 by 13. Cos is adjacent by hypotenuse, sin is opposite by hypotenuse. Terms inside the bracket takes the form cos A cos B plus sin A sin B, which is cos of A minus B, cos of x minus alpha. This becomes cos inverse of cos of x minus alpha. Cos inverse of cos x minus alpha will be x minus alpha if x minus alpha belongs to the principal branch, pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4, correct? So x lies in the interval pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. Where is x minus alpha if I find out? So what is alpha here in terms of angle if you find out? See, cos alpha is 12 by 13. It's nearly equal to 1, correct? It's nearly equal to 1. We know cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1, correct? This number is almost equal to 1. So it is, I can tell alpha is close to 0. But sin alpha is how much? 5 by 13, correct? Alpha should be same, of course. I'm explaining to you. If sin alpha is 1 by 2, then alpha is pi by 6. So I can tell it is closer to pi by 6. Somewhere it is less than pi by 6 definitely. Maybe close to 20 degree. Okay. So x lies between pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. Definitely, because we given the restriction for x as pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. Correct? Definitely I can tell x minus alpha will lie between pi by 2 minus alpha and 3 pi by 4 minus alpha, correct? So this alpha is approximately 20 degree if you take. Pi by 2 is 90, 90 minus 20 is 70. I'm just giving a rough value, I'm not sure. But 3 pi by 4 minus 3 pi by 4 is 135 degree. 135 minus 20 is 115 degree. Definitely this x minus alpha belongs to the principal branch of cos inverse. Definitely I can tell x minus alpha will lie in the principal branch of cos inverse 0 to pi. Correct? Will lie in this interval. So I can write cos inverse of cos x minus alpha as x minus alpha because x minus alpha will belong to the principal branch. And I can write alpha in terms of tan. Sin alpha is 5 by 13, cos alpha is 12 by 13, tan is sin by cos, so I'll get 5 by 12. Tan is sin by cos, 5 by 12. So alpha is tan inverse 5 by 12. So this is simplified to x minus tan inverse of, correct, opposite by adjacent 5 by 12. So simplified form is x minus tan inverse of 5 by 12. Option B is the answer. Quite simple question, not a difficult one at all. See that x minus alpha belongs to the principal branch of cos inverse. Alpha is an angle close to 20 degree. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm just telling you. Definitely it lies between 0 and 30 because cos 0 is 1. This number is close to 1. Correct. Definitely greater than 0. And this number is close to half. Correct. 6 by 12 is half. Correct. 5 by 13 is maybe less than half. Correct. So I can tell it's an acute angle and that too it may lie between 0 and 30. Pi by 2 minus an angle which lies between 0 and 30 definitely will be greater than 0. And 3 pi by 4 minus an angle which lies between 0 and 30 definitely will lie in the interval 0 to pi. Correct. So I can conclude from this that x minus alpha belongs to the principal branch. So cos inverse of cos x minus alpha is x minus alpha. Alpha is tan inverse of 5 by 12 from this. Correct. Alpha is tan inverse of 5 by 12 because sin by cos is tan. Hope you understand. Move on to the next one. Question number 9. If for some alpha beta with alpha less than or equal to beta given alpha plus beta as 8, secant square tan inverse alpha plus cosecant square cot inverse beta equal to 36. Want to find alpha square plus beta. Numerical type question is asked on 24th of January 1st shift 2025. So given alpha plus beta equal to 8. Given alpha plus beta is equal to 8. And secant square tan inverse alpha. Secant square tan inverse of alpha plus cosecant square cot inverse of beta is equal to 36. Secant square is 1 plus tan square. Correct? I can write this as secant square tan inverse alpha is 1 plus tan square of tan inverse alpha. Cosecant square is 1 plus cot square. So 1 plus cot square of cot inverse beta is equal to 36. From this is tan of tan inverse alpha the whole square. Tan square theta means what? Tan square theta means tan theta the whole square, right? So tan square tan inverse alpha is same as tan of tan inverse alpha the whole square. So tan of tan inverse alpha is alpha, so alpha square it becomes. This is tan of tan inverse alpha the whole square. I'll write one more step if you want. Tan of tan inverse alpha the whole square, because a tan square theta means tan theta the whole square. Correct? This is also again 1 plus cot of cot inverse beta the whole square. Cot of cot inverse beta the whole square is equal to 36. So this becomes what? 1 plus tan of tan inverse alpha is alpha, alpha square, plus 1 plus cot of cot inverse beta is beta, so beta square is equal to 36. From this I'll get alpha square plus beta square. 36 minus 2, 34. Alpha square plus beta we got. Beta is 8 minus alpha from this. Correct? From the given equation I can write beta is equal to 8 minus alpha. That we can substitute here. Alpha square plus beta is 8 minus alpha the whole square is equal to 34. Simplify this. Expand it. Alpha square plus 8 square 64 plus alpha square minus 2ab minus 16 alpha minus 34 is equal to 0. Correct? Add the like terms. What we get? Therefore 2 alpha square plus alpha square 2 alpha square minus 16 alpha, correct? 64 minus 34, that is 30, equal to 0. You can divide the entire equation by 2. 2 is common here. So I'm getting alpha square minus 8 alpha plus 15 is equal to 0. You can factorize this as alpha minus 3 into alpha minus 5 equal to 0. Alpha minus 3 into alpha minus 5 equal to 0. A into B 0 means either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Alpha equal to 3 or alpha equal to 5. When alpha equal to 3, you can find the corresponding value of beta. When alpha is equal to 3, beta is 8 minus alpha, no? Beta is 8 minus alpha. So we get 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. Another possibility is when alpha is equal to 5, beta is equal to how much? When alpha is 5, beta is 8 minus alpha. So I am getting 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. Correct? They told alpha should be less than or equal to beta. So alpha equal to 3, beta equal to 5 is accepted. This you don't take because here alpha is bigger than beta. So required is alpha square plus beta, right? Therefore, finally what we want to find? Alpha square plus beta. Alpha square plus beta. This value I'll take. Alpha should be less than or equal to beta according to this question, right? So I'll take alpha equal to 3 and beta equal to 5. 3 square plus 5. Alpha equal to 3, beta equal to 5. 3 square is 9. 9 plus 5. Answer is 14. Simple question. Even similar type of question of this kind was asked in CET 2025. Okay. But not with two equations, only one. They asked to find the value of alpha was given, beta was given. They asked to find secant square tan inverse 2 plus cosecant square cot inverse 3, something like that. Okay. Similar type of question was asked. So it's a very simple question. This is solving the two equations, getting the values of alpha and beta. Alpha less than or equal to beta is given. Want to find alpha square plus beta. Hope you understand this. Please make a note of this. Move on to the next one. Alpha greater than beta greater than gamma greater than 0. Want to find the value of this expression. Question asked on 24th of January, second shift, 2025. Go on, simplify this expression. Make use of these conditions also. Okay. Given expression equal to, given expression, cot inverse of, simplify this. Inside this bracket you take LCM. Alpha minus beta is LCM. Correct? So beta into alpha minus beta I'll get. Beta into alpha minus beta plus 1 plus beta square plus cot inverse of, taking common denominator, beta minus gamma, so gamma into beta minus gamma into beta minus gamma plus 1 plus gamma square plus cot inverse of, taking common denominator, gamma minus alpha, correct? Alpha into gamma minus alpha into gamma minus alpha plus 1 plus alpha square. So this becomes equal to cot inverse of, simplified, beta alpha minus beta square, beta alpha minus beta square plus 1 plus beta square divided by alpha minus beta plus cot inverse of, what we get, gamma beta minus gamma square plus 1 plus gamma square divided by beta minus gamma plus last term is cot inverse of alpha gamma minus alpha square plus 1 plus alpha square divided by gamma minus alpha. Correct? So here minus beta square plus beta square will cancel out. Minus gamma square plus gamma square will add up to 0. Alpha square minus alpha square will add up to 0. What is left here? Cot inverse of, what is left here? Cot inverse of 1 plus beta alpha divided by alpha minus beta plus second term is cot inverse of, what is left here? 1 plus beta gamma divided by beta minus gamma plus the last term is cot inverse of, what we have, 1 plus alpha gamma divided by gamma minus alpha. Now I'll use cot inverse of x equal to tan inverse of 1 by x if x is positive, correct? You know that. So now you see that alpha minus beta is positive because alpha is greater than beta. Alpha minus beta is positive. Beta is greater than gamma, so beta minus gamma is positive. Here gamma and alpha, if we compare, alpha is greater than gamma, so alpha minus gamma is positive. Gamma is smaller than alpha, no? Gamma is lesser than alpha, so gamma minus alpha is negative. Note that gamma minus alpha is less than 0 and alpha minus gamma is greater than 0, correct? Alpha minus beta is positive. Alpha minus beta is positive. Even beta minus gamma is positive. But the thing is this, gamma minus alpha is negative here. Gamma minus alpha is negative because gamma is less than alpha. Okay? Gamma is smaller than alpha. Gamma less than alpha. So gamma minus alpha is less than 0. So this quantity is negative here. Correct? So numerator is positive because alpha, beta, gamma, everything is positive. So alpha, gamma plus 1 is positive. Denominator is negative. Cot inverse of minus x is pi minus cot inverse of x. I'll write gamma minus alpha as minus of alpha minus gamma here. This is minus of alpha minus gamma. Okay. Gamma minus alpha is minus of alpha minus gamma. Then use cot inverse of minus x as pi minus cot inverse of x. Directly we can't write this because cot inverse of x is tan inverse 1 by x. If x is positive, terms inside the bracket is positive, then only I can write. Here this quantity is negative, correct? So here this is becoming, cot inverse will become tan inverse. Tan inverse of alpha minus beta divided by 1 plus alpha beta, correct? I'm using cot inverse of x as tan inverse 1 by x. Same way here also. Tan inverse of this will be beta minus gamma divided by 1 plus beta gamma. But here I can't write directly because terms inside the bracket is negative. So I'm using cot inverse of minus x. What I'm using it? Cot inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cot inverse x. Pi minus cot inverse x. Correct? So cot inverse of this quantity will be pi minus cot inverse of 1 plus alpha gamma divided by alpha minus gamma, correct? Then alpha minus gamma is positive, correct? So now terms inside the bracket is positive. Cot inverse of x is tan inverse of 1 by x we can write. So I'll write the simplified form, the last part I'll write here. So the given expression will be equal to, we know tan inverse of x minus y by 1 plus xy. Tan inverse of x minus tan inverse of y, correct? So that becomes tan inverse alpha minus tan inverse beta. Tan inverse alpha minus tan inverse of beta, the first term. And the second term here, tan inverse of beta minus gamma by 1 plus beta gamma. Tan inverse of beta minus tan inverse of gamma becomes tan inverse of beta minus tan inverse of gamma plus here pi minus cot inverse of this quantity will be what? Tan inverse of alpha minus gamma by 1 plus alpha gamma, correct? I'll write here itself. So this will simplify to what? Tan inverse alpha minus tan inverse gamma. Tan inverse alpha minus tan inverse of gamma. Tan inverse alpha minus tan inverse alpha will cancel. Minus tan inverse beta plus tan inverse beta will cancel. Minus tan inverse gamma, minus into minus plus tan inverse gamma will cancel. So answer is pi. Simplifies to pi. Don't write 0. Many students I have seen telling the answers for this question on 24th of January. Many students after the exam met me, they told the answer was 0. It's wrong. 0 is the wrong answer. Right answer is pi. Please make a note. Important step is this. Cot inverse of minus x. Pi minus cot inverse of x. Because the terms inside the bracket is negative here. Because gamma is smaller than alpha. Gamma is less than alpha. So gamma minus alpha is negative. Important point to be noted here. Hope you understand. Move on to the next one. Question number 11. Want to find the value of cos of sin inverse 3 by 5 plus sin inverse 5 by 13 plus sin inverse of 33 by 65 equal to how much? Question asked on 28th of January, first trip 2025. So we can simplify the given bracket here. First two terms we can add up. Sin inverse of 3 by 5, you can convert it to tan inverse, correct? The first two terms, what you do, convert it to tan inverse and use the formula tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. Tan inverse of x plus y by 1 minus xy. That formula you can use. Otherwise, I can use the formula for sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. Sin inverse x plus sin inverse y is sin inverse of x into root of 1 minus y square plus y into root of 1 minus x square. Even that formula can be used. That condition is there. X square plus y square should be less than or equal to 1. In that case, we can apply. Okay. I can use the formula for this. Sin inverse of x plus sin inverse of y. Sin inverse of x plus sin inverse of y is equal to what? Sin inverse of x into root of 1 minus y square plus y into root of 1 minus x square. If x square plus y square is less than or equal to 1. Correct? X and y belongs to the interval 0 to 1. X and y belongs to the interval 0 to 1. And x square plus y square is less than or equal to 1. With this condition. Of course, 3 by 5 square, that is 9 by 25. Correct? And 5 by 13 square, that is 25 by 169. If you add them, it is definitely less than 1, correct? I can give guarantee. Sum of the squares of these numbers is less than 1. So I can apply this formula. Or else you can convert it to sin inverse of 3 by 5. I can write it as tan inverse 3 by 4. And sin inverse of 5 by 13 is tan inverse of 5 by 12 using Pythagorean triplets. 3, 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplets. 5, 12 and 13 are Pythagorean triplets. We can simplify using that formula also. One method is we can use this formula. Okay. Another method is I can convert it to tan inverse. Both of them apply tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y formula. I will be doing by this method only. Okay. Given expression is equal to cos of sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. Sin inverse of x into root of 1 minus y square. X into x means 3 by 5. 3 by 5, correct, into root of 1 minus 5 by 13 square, that is 25 by 169, plus y into y is 5 by 13, 5 by 13 into root of 1 minus x square, x is 3 by 5, 3 by 5 square, 9 by 25, correct, this part, applying the formula for this, sin inverse of x plus sin inverse of y, and this term keep as it is, sin inverse of 33 by 65, keep as it is. Simplify this further, is equal to cos of sin inverse of 3 by 5 into 1 minus 25 by 169, that becomes 144 by 169, correct? Take LCM. Root of 144 is 12, root 169 is 13, plus 5 by 13 into, here 1 minus 9 by 25, 16 by 25, root of that is 4 by 5, plus sin inverse of 33 by 65. This becomes equal to cos of sin inverse, here 3 into 12 is 36 divided by 65, 5 into 4 20 divided by 65 plus sin inverse of 33 by 65. This will add up to 56 by 65. Cos of sin inverse of 56 divided by 65 plus sin inverse of 33 by 65. You see that 33 and 56 and 65 are Pythagorean triplets. Okay. So I can write sin inverse of 56 by 65 as cos inverse 33 by 65. Okay, this becomes cos of sin inverse of opposite by hypotenuse, cos inverse of adjacent by hypotenuse, cos inverse 33 by 65 plus sin inverse of 33 by 65. See, the values are same here. Values are same means what? Cos inverse plus sin inverse will add up to pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. By properties of ITF. Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2, right? So values are same, 33 by 65 is there, cos inverse x plus sin inverse of x will add up to pi by 2, cos pi by 2 which is equal to 0. A simple question. I can also give a bit of information about the Pythagorean triplets. The familiar Pythagorean triplets we are aware of, 3, 4, 5, some of the important Pythagorean triplets are right, important Pythagorean triplets. Pythagorean triplets. 3, 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplets, correct? We are familiar with that. Some of the familiar Pythagorean triplets I'll list out here. 3, 4 and 5, correct? 6, 8 and 10 is of course there, I won't write that. 5, 12 and 13, 5, 12 and 13. 5 square plus 12 square is 13 square. 8 square plus 15 square is 17 square. 8, 15 and 17 are Pythagorean triplets. And also 7, 24 and 25 are Pythagorean triplets. 7 square plus 24 square is 25 square, correct? Of course, 15 square plus 20 square is 25 square. That I won't write because that is multiples of 3, 4, 5, correct? So I won't write those numbers. And here we got 33, 56 and 65, correct? 33, 56 and 65. I advise you to remember these Pythagorean triplets. And also I can add two more here. That is 36, 77 and 84. 36, 77 and 85. Okay. And one more I can add it to this list is 13, 84 and 85. How to remember these Pythagorean triplets? Because these numbers are seen even in the NCERT book. Okay. The problems are there of these numbers in NCERT book itself. So I'll give a brief idea of Pythagorean triplets. You take a right angle triangle. There are three sides for a triangle we know. The Pythagoras theorem says that square on the hypotenuse equal to sum of the square on other two sides in a right angle triangle. Correct? So I can easily identify the Pythagorean triplets if the bigger numbers are given to you. Forget about these smaller numbers. 3, 4, 5. All those things are smaller numbers. Correct? So smaller numbers is okay. Smaller numbers is okay. Anyone can remember and write. If the bigger numbers are given, there is one small technique here. Okay. See, suppose we are not knowing what is the Pythagorean triplet for 56 and 65. Here we got 56 by 65. Of course, 33 by 65 is there. What is the connection? We not known it. By after doing calculations, we'll come to know that 33 square plus 56 square is 65 square. And calculations of 65 square, 56 square will take more time. Correct? At least 25-30 seconds is required to do those calculations. So what we can do is, if you are familiar with these that is Pythagorean triplets concept, then I can tell that, see, 65 is there, 56 was you can start from here, 33 by 65. 33 is an odd number, right? So sine inverse of, I can take a value of the type m square minus n square by m square plus n square. Okay. So if you take like that, I'll add one slide here to make you understand this Pythagorean triplet. Sine inverse of, it can be either, say if you take a right angle triangle, the sides of the right angle triangle will be of this type. This is m square plus n square. This is m square minus n square, and this is 2mn. Okay. These are the sides of the right angle triangle I'll take. Or these two can be interchanged also, because square of this plus square of this will be square of this. If you want, you can verify that. Suppose in this problem we had sine inverse of 33 by 65. No, sine inverse of 33 by 65. 33 is an odd number, correct? So 2mn can't be an odd number. 2mn has to be an even number. It's a multiple of 2 is even number. So I'll take this in the form of sine inverse of m square minus n square by m square plus n square. M square minus n square divided by m square plus n square. Of course, m and n are natural numbers. I'll take m comma n are natural numbers with m is greater than n. With m is greater than n. In like that, in this form I'll take. Okay. So m square minus n square is 33. M square plus n square is 65. By inspection method, I can tell 7 square minus 4 square. 7 square minus 4 square. 7 square is 49. 4 square is 16. 49 minus 16 is 33. 7 square plus 4 square, correct? 7 square is 49. 49 plus 16, that is 65. Correct? M square minus m square plus n square satisfies that. So the other side, the adjacent side will be 2mn, no? 2mn is equal to what? 2 into m is 7 and n is 4. 2 into 7, 14. 14 into 4, 56. So my adjacent side is 56. So that is how I got. So I told 33, 56 and 65 are the Pythagorean triplets. Sine inverse of opposite by hypotenuse will be cos inverse of adjacent by hypotenuse. If this is 33, this should be 56 for 65. Correct? So like this we can do. Okay. So you can remember that the sides of the right angle triangle are m square minus n square, 2mn and m square plus n square, where m and n are natural numbers with m is greater than n. Okay, in that form I'll take, and m square plus n square being the hypotenuse. So easily we can find out. This is one technique. If you're doing the calculations, it becomes more time. So, but you should be very fast in doing this also. Okay. And one more Pythagorean triplet I wrote here, 36, 77 and 85. See, 77 and 85 are odd numbers. So if you want, if we define sine inverse of 77 by 85, if it is given, we don't know 36 is the adjacent side. We assume that you don't know that 36 is the adjacent side. So if you know the angle as sine inverse of 77 by 85, I'll show you how to get 36. Suppose the given sine inverse of 77 divided by 85. Okay, this takes the form both numerator denominator are odd numbers, so m square minus n square by m square plus n square, comparing with this form. So what I'm getting, m square minus n square is equal to 77 and m square plus n square is equal to 85. This is possible for 9 square minus 2 square, correct? 9 square 81 minus 2 square, that is 77. 9 square plus 2 square, that is 85. So my 2mn is going to be how much? 2mn, 2 into 9 into 2, correct? 2 into 9, 18, 18 2s are 36. So sin inverse of 77 by 85 will be equal to cos inverse of 36 by 85. That means 77, 36 and 85 are Pythagorean triplets as shown here. 77, 36 and 85. Understood this technique of finding the third number without using the Pythagoras theorem, because big numbers squaring becomes difficult. But and this case also 85 is a common hypotenuse here in both these cases. So 13, 84 and 85. Suppose 13 is an odd number, correct? 84 is not an odd number. 13 is an odd number. So if you take sin inverse of 13 by 85, sin inverse of 13 by 85 I'll show. Sin inverse of 13 by 85 is given. This takes the form sin inverse of m square minus n square by m square plus n square. So m square minus n square is equal to 13 and m square plus n square is equal to 85, correct? Which number is going to satisfy here? You should go by inspection method. I can take 49 and 36, perfect square. 49 plus 36 is 85. 49 minus 36 is 13, right? So these numbers are satisfied. These numbers are satisfied for m is equal to 7 and n is equal to 6. Because 7 square minus 6 square. 49 minus 36, 13. 49 plus 36, 85. So if you calculate 2mn for this, 2mn is going to be 2 into 7 into 6. 2 into 7, 14. 14 into 6 is 84. So if you ask sin inverse of 13 by 85 will be cos inverse of 84 by 85. That means 13, 84 and 85 are Pythagorean triplets. Just remember that the sides of the right angle triangle are m square minus m square, 2mn and m square plus n square. M square plus n square being the hypotenuse. M and n are natural numbers with m is greater than n. Of course, we can interchange the opposite and adjacent sides. M square minus n square and 2mn can be interchanged. Okay, it can be taken as opposite side and adjacent side, or adjacent side and opposite side can be interchanged. But hypotenuse is fixed as m square plus n square. But m square minus n square can be odd number. 2mn can't be odd number. 2mn should be even number. All this information you should know. Hope you understood. I given information about the Pythagorean triplet. Just remember these Pythagorean triplets. Sometimes it's difficult to remember these Pythagorean triplets. 36, 56 and 85. Okay. 36, 30, 33, 56 and 65. Sorry. 33, 56, 65. You can remember the jersey numbers. That is one way you can remember. Okay. 33 is a jersey number in cricket. Hardik Pandya wears, correct? In the Indian team, 33. Like that you can remember. 77 is Shubman Gill, correct? You can remember like that. 56 is, I think, Mitchell Stark from Australia has number 56. I think so. Okay, not sure. 33, I'm sure. Even in Australian cricket team, there was a player, all-rounder, Shane Watson. Even he too was wearing the jersey number 33, I'm sure. Hardik Pandya from India wears 33. Like that, something you should connect. 36, you have to find out who is wearing 84, 85, all those things. They have to find out. Okay, 77 is Shubman Gill, we know, Indian test captain at present. So these are the three unfamiliar Pythagorean triplets which can be got. Suppose the two numbers are known, the third number can be got without using the squares. Without squaring the numbers, we can find out by using my method. Sin inverse of m square minus m square by m square plus n square is cos inverse of 2mn by m square plus n square. That technique. The technique is shown here. Okay. In detail, I have explained all the Pythagorean triplets. Move on to the next one. Given the greatest integer function, we have to find the domain of this function. Secant inverse of 2 times greatest integer value of x plus 1. Okay. So we know domain of secant inverse of x is such that x is greater than or equal to 1 or x is less than or equal to minus 1. What is domain of secant inverse x? Domain of secant inverse x. Domain of secant inverse of x is such that x is greater than or equal to 1 or x is less than or equal to minus 1. Correct? You must know this. X is greater than or equal to 1 or x is less than or equal to minus 1. So instead of x, what is given inside the bracket? 2 into greatest integer value of x plus 1. 2 into greatest integer value of x plus 1. This should be greater than or equal to 1 or 2 into greatest integer value of x plus 1 should be less than or equal to minus 1. Correct? Domain of secant inverse of x is such that x is greater than or equal to 1 or x is less than or equal to minus 1. So from this, what do you get? 2 into greatest integer value of x is greater than or equal to 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 is definitely greater than 0, we know. So I can have the condition that greatest integer value of x is greater than or equal to 0. Greatest integer function, the output or the outcomes or the answer what you get is always an integer. So which are the integers possible for this condition? Greatest integer function is greater than or equal to 0 means it assumes all the integers like 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Correct? From this I can list out greatest integer value of x can be equal to 0, it can be 1, 2, 3, like this goes on. When is greatest integer function equal to 0? Greatest integer function will be equal to 0 if x belongs to the interval 0 to 1. Correct? Greatest integer value of x. Greatest integer value of x is equal to 0 is possible. X belongs to the closed open interval 0 to 1. Greatest integer value of x is equal to 1 possible means x belongs to the interval 1 to 2. Correct? Closed open interval 1 to 2. Greatest integer value of x is equal to 2 means what? That means x belongs to the closed open interval 2 to 3. Correct? Including the left end point, excluding the right end point. Like that it goes on. Correct? Goes on up till infinity. So combining all these things, I'll get x belongs to the interval closed open interval 0 to infinity. Correct? Greatest integer value of x can be 0 means x belongs to the closed open interval 0 to 1. Greatest integer value of x is 1 means x belongs to the closed open interval 1 to 2. All these things, basic concepts you must know. Please learn the definition of the greatest integer function, then only you will understand all these things. Greatest integer value of x is 2 means x belongs to the closed open interval 2 to 3. Like that, go on, continue. I'll get combining all these things. I'll get x belongs to the closed interval 0 to infinity. Closed open interval 0 to infinity. This part is over. Coming to this part here. From this, 2 into greatest integer value of x is less than or equal to minus 1. Minus 1 is minus 2. I can divide by 2 on both sides. So greatest integer value of x is less than or equal to minus 1. Dividing by 2 on both sides. Dividing by a positive number on both sides means inequality remains the same. It does not change. So greatest integer value of x is less than or equal to minus 1. What are the integral values it takes? Greatest integer function can be equal to minus 1, can be minus 2, minus 3. Like that goes on till infinite, minus infinity. Greatest integer value of x, possibilities are less than or equal to minus 1. Integers are minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. When does greatest integer value of x becomes equal to minus 1? Greatest integer value of x will be minus 1 if x belongs to the interval minus 1 to 0. Closed open interval. You must know the number line and understand. The 0 is present here, 1 is present here, 2 is present here. The graph of greatest integer function also you know, correct? If x lies between minus 1 to 0, including minus 1, excluding 0, greatest integer function becomes minus 1. When does greatest integer function becomes equal to minus 2? Greatest integer function becomes equal to minus 2 means x belongs to the interval, closed open interval, minus 2 to minus 1. Greatest integer value of x is minus 3 means what? where x belongs to? X belongs to the closed open interval minus 3 to minus 2. From the graph also we can make out all these things. Like this it goes on till minus infinity. So if you combine all these things, I'll get x belongs to the interval minus infinity to 0, open interval, correct? Minus infinity to 0. So here all negative numbers are covered. Here all positive numbers including 0 is covered. If you combine these two, I can write this is 1 alcohol, this I'll call 2, from 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, I can conclude that x belongs to all real numbers, that is minus infinity to plus infinity. Or means I have to combine this to take the union of this. X belongs to minus infinity to plus infinity. Option B is the answer. Question asked on 28th of January, second shift, 2025. Simple question asked on the domain of secant inverse of x. You must know this concept. And also you must know the concept of greatest integer function. Okay, then only it's possible. Understand the graph of greatest integer function, learn the definition of greatest integer function, then you'll understand this. Okay, move on to the next one. You have to find the solution of this equation. An inverse trigonometric equation is given here. Okay, set of all x as that cos inverse x equal to pi plus sin inverse x plus sin inverse of 2x plus 1. Want to find summation of x belongs to s, 2x minus 1 the whole square. Given equation is cos inverse x is equal to pi plus sin inverse x plus sin inverse of 2x plus 1. Want to find the solution of this equation, then find summation of the 2x minus 1 the whole square such that x belongs to that value of x is belonging to that set. Means find the solution of this equation and find summation of 2x minus 1 the whole square. So how do you simplify this? We'll write cos inverse x as pi by 2 minus sin inverse x, because we know that sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2 for x belonging to the closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. For all x belongs to the closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. We know this domain of x is such that x sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x pi by 2 for all x belongs to the closed interval minus 1 plus 1, which is the domain of sin inverse of x and cos inverse of x. Using this property, I'll write cos inverse of x equal to pi by 2 minus sin inverse of x. To start with, cos inverse of x, which will write it as pi by 2 minus sin inverse of x is equal to pi plus sin inverse of x plus sin inverse of 2x plus 1. Correct? Writing cos inverse of x as pi by 2 minus sin inverse of x. From this, rearrange the terms and simplify. Pi by 2 minus pi will be minus pi by 2. Correct? Minus pi by 2 minus pi is minus pi by 2. This will take it to other side. Sin inverse x plus sin inverse x becomes 2 sin inverse x plus sin inverse of 2x plus 1. Like this we get. Now we'll take cos on both sides. Otherwise we can rearrange the terms and write this as 2 sin inverse of x. We can take it to the left hand side. I think that is better. Okay. Or else we can write it as, yeah, we'll shift this minus pi by 2 to other side and this to the left hand side. So I'll get sin inverse of 2x plus 1 minus sin inverse of 2x plus 1 minus of sin inverse 2x plus 1 is equal to 2 sin inverse x plus pi by 2. So that will take cos on both sides, or we'll take sin on both sides. That is better. Okay, we'll take sin on both sides. Then we can use the concept of allied angles here. Okay, sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. Sine of 90 plus theta is going to be equal to cos theta. We can use that and go on simplify it. Taking sine on both sides, sine of minus sine inverse of 2x plus 1, taking sine function on both sides, is equal to sine of 2 sine inverse x plus pi by 2, same as pi by 2 plus 2 sine inverse x. Sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. And here sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Minus comes outside. Correct? This is minus. Sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Minus comes out. Sine inverse 2x plus 1 is 2x plus 1. I assume that 2x plus 1 lies between minus 1 plus 1, including the endpoints. Sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. Correct? This becomes cos of 2 sine inverse x. Cos of 2 sine inverse x. Sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. This is your theta here. This is your theta. Correct? Now, cos of 2 sine inverse of x. I'll write it as, this to take it as theta now. Correct? Cos 2 theta. What is cos 2 theta? There are various formulas. Cos square theta minus sine square theta. 2 cos square theta minus 1. 1 minus 2 sine square theta. 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta. Right? So cos of 2 sine inverse x, I can write it as 1 minus 2 sine square theta. Okay? This we call it as alpha otherwise. Cos 2 alpha. Cos 2 alpha is 1 minus 2 sine square alpha. Correct? Cos 2 alpha is 1 minus 2 sine square alpha. What is my alpha? Sine inverse of x. So sine alpha is x. So this becomes 1 minus 2x square. Because sine alpha is x. Sine inverse of x is alpha. So sine alpha is equal to x from this. Sine alpha is equal to x. So what I am going to get here is, open this bracket. What we get is minus 2x minus 1, correct, is equal to 1 minus 2x square. Write all the terms to one side. So what we get? 2x square minus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. Writing all the terms to one side. Divide the entire equation by 2. We'll get x square minus x minus 1 equal to 0. Solve this equation by using formula method. X equal to minus of b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac minus 1 square minus 4 into a into c divided by 2a divided by 2 into a is 1. So what do you get? Minus of minus plus 1 plus or minus root of 1 square is 1 minus into minus plus 4 divided by 2. So what I'm going to get is minus 1 plus or minus root 5 divided by 2. I'm getting two values here. So x equal to minus 1 plus root 5 divided by 2 or minus 1 minus root 5 divided by 2. So not minus 1, plus 1, no, sorry. Made a mistake. Where is minus coming from where? I wrote it properly here. I wrote a mistake, small mistake. Okay. 1 plus root 5 by 2 or 1 minus root 5 by 2. Two values I'm getting. But x is what? X equal to 1 plus root 5 by 2 is not possible. Because I assume I'd already told that x should lie in this interval minus 1 to plus 1, right? Closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. 1 plus root 5 by 2 is greater than 1. Root 5 is 2 point something. 2 point something plus 1 is 3 point something. 3 point something by 2 is 1.5 something. So this is not possible. Because 1 plus root 5 by 2 is greater than 1. 1 plus root 5 by 2 is greater than 1. Rejected. This value is rejected. This value is accepted. Root 5 is 2 point something. 1 minus 2 point something is minus 1 point something. Minus 1 point something by 2 is minus point something. Correct? This number lies in the interval minus 1 to 0. This value is possible. Correct? This value is possible. This is accepted. This is accepted. So only one value of x I'm going to get. So I have to find summation of x belongs to s, 2x minus 1 the whole square. So x is this. X is this. Find out 2x. 2x minus 1 the whole square is required. Correct? 2x minus 1 the whole square is required. I'll write here. This part is not required for us. Therefore, summation of x belongs to s. summation of x belongs to s, 2x minus 1 the whole square is equal to. No need to take the summation because there is only one value of x. Sum of the terms you're going to take if there are more than one term. There's only one term, only one value of x. So 2 into x, 2 into x is how much we got? 1 minus root 5 by 2. 2 into x minus 1 the whole square. Correct? 2 cancels. What I'm getting is 1 minus root 5 minus 1 the whole square. Plus 1 minus 1 will cancel. Minus root 5 square. Minus root 5 square is going to be equal to 5. So required answer is 5. Hope you understood this. Solving the inverse trigonometric equation and getting the answer. Okay. I wrote cos inverse of x is pi by 2 minus sin inverse of x. And rearrange the terms. Pi by 2 minus pi is minus pi by 2. Sin inverse of x plus sin inverse of x is 2 sin inverse of x. So minus pi by 2 is shifted to other side. This is brought to left hand side. Take sine on both sides. Sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. Then use cos 2 alpha. 1 minus 2 sine square alpha. Where alpha is sine inverse of x. So sine alpha is x. Then you get a quadratic equation. Solve that and get the value of x. So summation of 2x minus 1 the whole square is equal to 5 is the answer. Move on to the next one. I think this is the last question of this 2025 JEE Main inverse trigonometry function. I completed both April shift as well as January shift. 7 questions were asked from January shift. 7 questions were asked from the April shift too. So domain of cos inverse. Cos inverse of the bracket means the bracket should lie between minus 1 and plus 1 including the endpoints. So f of x, to find the domain of f, 4x plus 5 by 3x minus 7. 4x plus 5 divided by 3x minus 7. This should lie between minus 1 and plus 1. And domain of log function is there, g of x. G of x is given like this. I have to find the domain of that too. We will solve this double inequality first. Combine the first half. Minus 1 less than or equal to 4x plus 5 divided by 3x minus 7. From this I can write 0 less than or equal to 4x plus 5 divided by 3x minus 7 plus 1. Minus 1 take that side. So 0 less than or equal to, take common denominator, 3x minus 7. So 4x plus 3x becomes 7x. 5 minus 7 minus 2. So 7x minus 2 by 3x minus 7 is greater than or equal to 0. Correct? So solution set for this. Get the critical points where numerator becomes 0 at 2 by 7. Where denominator becomes 0 at 7 by 3. Correct? Solution set for this. 2 by 7. Numerator becomes 0 at 2 by 7. 2 by 7 is smaller than 7 by 3. Correct? 2 by 7 is here. And 7 by 3 is here. Correct? 7 by 3 is bigger. So solution set for this. We want to have this expression to be greater than or equal to 0. So coefficient of x in the numerator and denominator is positive. So right side of 7 by 3 is positive. 7 by 3 is got from 3x minus 7. 3x minus 7 to the power 1, odd number. So power of 3x minus 7 is odd number, means 1, odd number. So sign changes, plus will become minus. 2 by 7 is got from 7x minus 2. 7x minus 2 to the power 1, odd number. Again sign changes, minus will become plus. Correct? We want greater than or equal to 0. So solution set for this will be x belongs to the interval minus infinity to 2 by 7. 2 by 7 is included. Correct? Union 7 by 3 to infinity. Correct? 7 by 3 is excluded because denominator can't be 0. 7 by 3 to infinity. Solution set for the first half is over. Solution set for the second half now. To solve for second half, what I'm going to get? 4x plus 5 divided by 3x minus 7 is less than or equal to 1. Combining these two. So minus 1 less than or equal to 0. Take common denominator from this. 3x minus 7 is common denominator. So 4x minus 3x, that is x. 5 minus of minus 7, 5 plus 7, 12. Correct? Less than or equal to 0. Correct? No, taking common denominator 3x minus 7, 4x minus 3x, that is x. So 5 minus minus 7, 5 plus 7, 12. So critical points for this are minus 12 and 7 by 3. Denominator becomes 0 for 7 by 3. Numerator becomes 0 for minus 12. Represent this on the number line. Minus 12 is here. Correct? 7 by 3 is here. 7 by 3. So now we want a sign scheme for this. Coefficient of x in the numerator denominator is positive. So extreme right side is start. That will be positive. 7 by 3 is gone from 3x minus 7. 3x minus 7 is to the power 1, odd number. Odd number means sign changes. Plus will become minus. Minus 12 is gone from x plus 12. X plus 12 to the power 1 it is. Again the power of x plus 12 is odd number. Correct? Sign changes. Minus will become plus. Where it is less than or equal to 0 in the interval minus 12 to 7 by 3. Solution set for this will be x belongs to the closed open interval. Minus 12 can be included. 7 by 3 to be excluded. Minus 12 to 7 by 3. Closed open interval. Okay. That is, I should take the intersection of these two. Correct. So common values for these two. Represent both of this in a single number line and get the intersection of these two. That will be what? Find out intersection of this. I'll represent here itself on this number line. Smallest is minus 12, correct? 7 by 3 is repeated, I think. No? Yeah, 7 by 3 is there in both. Minus 12 is the smallest number. Next comes is 2 by 7, correct? 2 by 7. Then we have 7 by 3. Now, minus 12, correct? Domain of F I have to find out. That is the interval alpha beta, correct? Closed interval. So, according to this, where it is solution set, minus infinity to 2 by 7. Minus infinity to 2 by 7. According to this, minus 12 to 7 by 3. Minus 12 to 7 by 3 included. Correct? 7 by 3 is excluded. 7 by 3 is excluded. And minus 12 is included. Solution set for this. Solution set according to this, minus infinity to 2 by 7. Minus infinity to 2 by 7 union 7 by 3 to infinity. Correct? Goes like this. Minus infinity to 2 by 7. 7 by 3 to infinity. Take the common value for this. Common value. Common values. Here I don't get anything common. Correct? This is 7 by 3 to infinity. This is coming only till 7 by 3. Here 7 by 3 is included. Excluded. Common is excluded. Here I won't get anything common. Here also. Here I get common values. Correct? I'll get common value here. Minus 12 to 2 by 7 is common. This part is common. This part is common. So my solution set combining this 1 and 2. 1 intersection 2 gives. Therefore, 1 intersection 2 gives x belongs to the interval. X belongs to the interval minus 12 to 2 by 7. It's a closed interval as given in the question. Correct? Minus 12 to 2 by 7. This is alpha beta. This is your interval alpha beta. That means alpha is equal to minus 12 and beta is equal to 2 by 7. We got alpha and beta. Okay. Next you need to find the domain of the function g. Log to the base 2 of 2 minus 6 times log to the base 27 of 2x plus y. This function is defined if this quantity is positive, correct? This entire thing should be positive for this function to be defined. 2 minus 6 times log to the base 27 of 2x plus y should be positive. And further I should take this quantity should be positive. 2x plus 5 should be positive, correct? This quantity should be positive and log to the base 27 2x plus 5 is defined if 2x plus 5 is positive. To find the domain of the function g, I should have the condition that 2 minus 6 into log to the base 27 of 2x plus 5 should be greater than 0. Correct? This entire thing should be positive. So 2 is greater than 6 times log to the base 27 of 2x plus 5. Anyway, the base of the log is greater than 1, 27. 2 by 6 will be 1 by 3 here. Correct? Dividing by 6 on both sides. 1 by 3 is greater than log to the base 27 of 2x plus 5. Correct? 2 by 6 is 1 by 3. So now convert this log to exponential form. 27 should be raised to the power 1 by 3 here. Correct? 27 to the power 1 by 3 is going to be greater than 2x plus 5. 27 power 1 by 3 is 3, cube root of 27. So 3 is greater than 2x plus 5. So what I am going to get? 3 minus 5 minus 2. Minus 2 is greater than 2x. That means x is less than minus 1. I'm getting x is less than minus 1. Further, I should have the condition that 2x plus 5 should be positive. Otherwise, this log doesn't get defined. 2x plus 5 should be positive. Also, we have 2x plus 5 should be positive. That means x is greater than minus 5 by 2. X is greater than minus 5 by 2. X is greater than minus 5 by 2 and less than minus 1. So x should belong to the open interval minus 5 by 2 to minus 1. 3 intersection 4, correct? X is greater than minus 5 by 2 and x is less than minus 1. Intersection of 3 and 4 gives, I'll write here, 3 intersection 4 gives, 3 intersection 4 gives x belongs to the open interval minus 5 by 2 to minus 1. Correct? So that is our interval gamma delta. That is the interval gamma delta. This is equal to gamma delta, open interval. So I got the values of alpha and beta here. Correct? Alpha and beta we got here. Gamma and delta I am getting here. So gamma is minus 5 by 2 and delta is minus 1. So I'll write here gamma is equal to minus 5 by 2. Delta is equal to minus 1. Want to find the value of the 7 times alpha plus beta plus 4 times gamma plus delta, mod of that. 7 times, I'll write here itself, alpha plus beta. Alpha is minus 12, beta is 2 by 7. Minus 12 plus 2 by 7 plus 4 times gamma plus delta. Gamma is minus 5 by 2, delta is minus 1. Correct? Simplify this. Mod is there. Should put mod for this. 7 into minus 12, that is minus 84. Correct? 7 into 2 by 7 is 2. So minus 84 plus 2 becomes minus 82 there. Correct? So I'll write the answer here. That's equal to mod of minus 82. Correct? And 4 into minus 5, minus 20. Minus 20 by 2 is minus 10. 4 into minus 1, minus 4. So I'll get the answer as mod of minus 96. Mod of minus 96 is equal to 96 is the answer. This is the answer. (96) is the answer. Okay. So mod of 7 times alpha plus beta plus 4 times gamma plus delta is shown here. 7 into minus 12, minus 84. 7 into 2 by 7 is 2. 2 minus 84 is minus 82. 4 into minus 5 by 2 is minus 10. 4 into minus 1 minus 4. Minus 82 minus 10 minus 92. Minus 92 minus 4 minus 96. Mod of minus 96 plus 96. Numerical type question asked on 8th of April, second shift 2025. So this completes all the 14 questions in detail as solved along with the concepts. Okay, various topics are covered from inverse trigonometry functions. Don't neglect the properties of ITF. Okay, study all the properties, formulas, results connected to inverse trigonometry functions in detail. I'll be doing all the synopsis part of the various topics also. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more and more videos in the coming days. NCERT also I started uploading the videos now. NCERT exercise of first view as well as second view. Each exercise wise I'll solve the problems along with the concepts. Important questions also I'll be discussing. MCQs for the board exams also will be discussed separately. I'll be uploading more and more videos. Also CET, JEE, NDA and also for boards. All I'll be covering. Even NDA exams are coming shortly. September 14th, the NDA exams are there. I'll be doing NDA paper also in the coming days. Okay. Mathematics has 120 questions in NDA exam. NDA 1 and NDA 2, National Defense Academy or NA, Naval Academy, they conduct exam twice a year, once in the month of April and once in the month of September. September 14th is coming, Sunday, this September 14th, NDA 2 exams will be there. So mathematics paper has 120 questions in that. NDA is for 900 marks. 120 questions will be from mathematics. Okay, so each question carries 2.5 marks in mathematics. 120 questions will be there. I'll be solving the 2025 April shift paper of NDA. Okay, in the coming days. So please subscribe to my channel, forward it to your friends, share it to your friends. Okay, with this I completed the IT of 2025, both January shift and April shift. 14 questions were there. I'll be doing more JE papers also, all the PYQs of 2025, 2024, and the synopsis part also in detail I'll be doing. Also, previously in the 3 or 4 days back, I've done the KCT differentiation chapter, okay, from 1984 till 2025. So many more videos I'll be doing of the PYQs, synopsis, NCERT book, NCERT exemplar, and all many more videos. Okay, with this I'll conclude. Thank you.